おい、動くなよ。
そんなこと言っても。
All I've seen in my feed ever since this came out is literally her feet on my feed. All throughout social media. Twitter, YouTube, Reddit, etc. That's all I've seen. Now, we could chalk this up to algorithm, but no, I don't think so. I don't think so. It just... Okay, I hear you loud and clear, Internet. I will talk about the Russian feet anime. I'll talk about it, okay? So... Alya sometimes hides her feelings in Russian is, honestly, it's a good show. Disregarding, obviously, this, I'm gonna be honest, this is a high-quality scene. I'm all for it. Give me more of this, okay? You can call me down bad, whatever. But, besides, obviously, this just holy moly of a scene of fan service, okay? And, speaks for itself. I will legitimately say that this is a high-quality first episode for an anime, and I can definitely see why people are ranking this as probably their favorite anime of the season thus far, if we're not counting, let's say, Oshinoko, or counting, carryovers from the previous anime season. And the reason for that is because, honestly, Alya sometimes hides her feelings in Russian, really kind of check marks all the boxes that people really are looking for when it comes to a romance slice of life show. It has cute art, it has great animation, it has beautiful voice acting, fan service obviously, unique fan service is that, and on top of that, legitimately a pantsu shot in this economy is actually just ridiculous. It is not something you really expect nowadays in anime. I'm just really? But disregarding that as well, we also have the romance. It's a nice blend of a kind of a tsundere feeling or vibe with actually characters just being very direct with each other, and it's a very refreshing first episode, and let's just get into that. So, basically, to kind of summarize the title, to really explain why this series is even titled this, the reason for it is because our main female character legitimately can talk in Russian. And here, I'll show this little scene at the end here. Basically, right at the end, before we cut to the credits and all that, she basically talks in Russian to the MC and saying that, oh, he doesn't get any of this. For instance, every time she speaks in Russian, he can't understand her. But in reality, here is the twist. The main male character within this show legitimately does know what she's saying. He understands Russian to a degree. He might not be able to probably properly speak it completely, but I didn't mean to show that scene. But he is definitely able to understand it. And so when she's speaking in Russian throughout this episode, he knows what she's saying when she's saying, oh, he's very cute, or, oh, I'm kind of into this little scene too with this foot, scene as well. She even admits that she kind of wants it, and obviously he goes along with his pride to straight up do it for her. And so everything about this sequence is that he's aware of her true intentions. He is aware that she is crushing on him and flirting with him to some degree, and just the way she tries to hide it is by talking in a completely different language. And it's a very unique premise. I'm not gonna lie. I really like the fact that the main male character is aware of, the main female character's intentions. He is aware that she loves him, and he is reciprocating that. It's not like he's leading her on or anything like that. There is some reciprocation going on throughout this series, at least with the first episode, to where he does, in some degree, have some form of feelings for her. Maybe not full-blown love, but it's definitely growing. And I appreciate when a series isn't trying to waste my time in throwing a very dense male lead, or dense female lead. And let's dive into that one. There is a time and a place, obviously, for, dense characters. I think they have their own niche, their own ways to be good within a story. It just really depends on how they're written. But I want to be honest, as someone that really loves to read and watch romance stories, it gets very annoying when you have a character that's just so dense that they can't even understand the common little, nods that a character's into you or something, and it gets a little bit annoying, and I'm glad to see that is clearly not the case. In fact, the only one that's a little bit dense, I guess, would be the main female lead, but in reality, she's not necessarily dense. She's more or less thinking she's getting away with speaking in Russian. And so, the main gist of this, I'm curious of when the secret's going to be revealed. If he ever speaks in Russian or something to her, what's she going to say? Are they going to instantly get together? Stuff like that. It legitimately makes me curious. But, overall, it's becoming very obvious why this series is so popular, why I've seen so many people talking about it, because obviously what most people probably started the show for, the reason why even people started the first episode, if I had to take an educated guess, is probably from this feet scene. Like, just this whole entire foot animation sequence, you know, people are gonna be like, whoa, my, like, you know, I need this in my life or something. But then, when they sit down and watch it, they're gonna be like, yo, this is a pretty sweet, you know, a very sweet show, very cute, very down to earth, get straight to the point, and, you know, it even has little incorporations of, like, a love triangle forming. It has the childhood friend, it has the student council vibe, it has basically just everything that you would normally see in a romance slice-of-life formula, but it feels like, you know, it is done in a better way. Like, it's got all the ingredients of a cliche stew, but it separates all these cliches into a very palatable format to where you'd be like, this is some pretty good stuff. This is a grade A series, and you might not even recognize the typical tropes and cliches that you would see from these stories just because of how it's presented within the first episode. Now, I don't know necessarily how the adaptation is. I don't know if this has been properly done in the anime in comparison to its original source. I believe this is adapted from a light novel, so obviously when it comes to adaptation-wise from, let's say, light novel to anime, there's always cut content, there's always eternal monologues cut, etc., and I could definitely see maybe some being a little bit upset with that, but overall, from what I've seen, light novel readers, or at least original source readers, I don't know if, once again, if this is fully based on a light novel or not, but I believe it is. I know original source readers are clearly enjoying this. I've seen a few people saying that they really enjoy it. I've seen that people, you know, really have loved this anime. I mean, hell, you look at the reception here, you see like 4.9 in terms of rating, 8,000 likes here, you know, you have 1,700 comments on the first episode alone on a new series at that first episode. It's very clear that people are enjoying this show. People are liking this show. There's a lot of discussion around it. And so I give it a few weeks, give it about 3-4 weeks. I mean, it's already popular as is. I mean, you can look at this alone. But give it a few weeks. I could definitely see this becoming either the top 3 or even the #1 anime of the season for a lot of people, just because of how it has a nice blend of everything that really just makes a good romance anime. And I feel like there is a lot to love here. I mean, I'm very happy to have one. I love me some good romance shows and stuff, and so the fact that we have another good one, I'm all for it. I hope that this series does very well. I hope that the anime production is very good, and I hope we get a season 2. I really hope we do. But I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy my content and you would like more of my content to appear in your subscription feed, then please do subscribe. It does help me out a lot. And leave a like on the video as well. It lets me know if you enjoyed the video. Be safe, stay healthy. Chibi out.